Alrighty.
Okay, we ready?
We are ready. So, good morning and welcome. Just a reminder to everybody, just listen to your bodies as we go through class today. And if there's something that is too much for you to do, just back off and rest. But for the most part, we just do a lot of gentle movements and integrating the breath with the body. So let's take a few moments to settle into our seats. So maybe moving back and forth on your sit bones, and then allowing your shoulders to relax down your back and sitting up nice and tall. So maybe your eyes are closed. Maybe your gaze is at the floor. Carefully planting your feet and your toes evenly in front of you on the floor. Maybe you're barefoot. Maybe you have shoes on. And just taking a moment to settle in silence, finding your seat. Breathing deeply in and out of the nose. And gently feeling your fingertips resting on your lap. And then slowly wiggling your toes and wiggling your fingers. And we'll reach the arms out to the sides for sitting mountain pose. Really concentrating on squeezing your shoulder blades here. And if your rib cage is lifting up, see if you can tuck your rib cage down. So you're still maintaining this nice straight plumb line from the top of your head through your torso and down into your seat. So palms are forward, palms are engaged, arms are engaged. And then release your hands and wiggle them out and wiggle your whole arms and shoulders. And then dance a little bit from side to side and forward and back. Just loosening up the torso here, and then maybe start to bring your arms above. Maybe that's in circles, or maybe just random side to side motions. And then moving, inhaling your arms overhead, fingers touch, and exhale, hands down to your sides. 2 more times, inhaling up, exhaling down. This time we'll inhale up, hands touch, and come down the center line down to your heart space. So if you would like to set an intention for class today, maybe there's a word or phrase that comes to mind. And breathing 3 times into your hands, into your hearts. And then releasing, opening your hands down to your sides, back to mountain pose. Let's lift up the right ankle, drawing your ankle in circles 5 times one direction and 5 times the other direction. Lowering that foot, left foot comes up, 5 circles one way, 5 circles the other way. And lowering it down, drawing the right hand out to the side, finding 5 circles in each direction. Lower down, left arm, 5 circles with the wrist. And maybe see how the arm is connected to the shoulder here. So if your shoulder is reaching up, see if you can drop it a little bit. And coming back to hands at your waist. We're gonna lean forward. So keeping a nice flat back as you lean slightly forward, maybe at a 45-degree angle. And then slowly come back through sitting tall. And then leaning back. So if you have to come forward on your chair a little bit, you can do that. And it might not be a 45-degree angle. Maybe it's just a little bit leaning back. So keeping your chin slightly tucked so your back is nice and straight. Back to center and back, leaning forward. Pausing and breathing here. And notice as you use your hands, you can press your hips down to the chair and start to elongate in the spine. So reaching that top of the head to maybe the top corner of the room, and then come back to center. Take a breath here. And then lean just slightly backwards. Slight gaze going up on the wall. And just notice how you have to engage your core here and really press down into the chair, and notice what your feet are doing. Maybe they're coming off the floor. See if you can press your feet into the floor a little bit more. Your shoulders are squeezing, and then using your core to come back to center. And we'll do that one more time. So leaning forward, lengthening the spine, tucking the chin, breathing. Coming back to center. And leaning backwards. Leaning, gaze looks up just a little bit. Breathing. And back to center. Release the hands, inhaling them overhead. Exhale, hands come down to your sides. Let's bring the right knee into the chest. And just wiggle that knee side to side. If you can't hold your knee, you can always just bring your hands to the top of your knee and just move it back and forth. You could also hold under the thigh, wherever works for you. And then we're going to bring that knee and cross our legs. So pressing down onto the thigh with both of your hands, maintaining a nice straight spine here. Maybe your thighs are slightly squeezing together, and then we're going to twist over to the right. So left hand comes to the top of the knee. Maybe your right hand holds the back of the chair. And just maintaining your gaze over the center of your chest as you gently look to the right. And then slowly come back to center. And we'll twist to the left, keeping that right hand on the knee, maybe the left hand to the chair now. and back through center. And we're gonna bring our hands down from the knee and slide them down to the ankles. So maybe your belly reaches your thighs, maybe you can tuck your chin, or maybe you're just half sitting with your arms crossed on your knee, but finding a forward fold, stretching the back. And then inhale, coming back through center, or inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, lower the arms, bring the hands to the knee, or lift to the knee, slide it side to side. And lower that knee back to the floor, both hands come to your thighs, sit up nice and tall, finding that string pulling the top of your head up to the ceiling. And then we'll switch to the other side. So maybe it's your left knee, holding your knee, your thigh, or just the leg in the air, shifting from side to side, warming up the hip joint. And then we're gonna cross the leg over the other one. Press both hands into your thigh to sit up tall, squaring your shoulders to the front of the room. And then bring the right hand to the top of the knee or the side of the leg, and we're going to twist towards the left. So engaging your belly as you twist your core and shoulders to the left. Taking a couple of breaths here. Coming back through center, sitting tall, twisting to the right, twisting, feeling that stretch in your neck and the side bodies. And come back through center, sitting tall. Bringing your hands down your calves, tucking your chin, maybe resting your belly. Coming down to rest here, taking 3 breaths in and out. And then slowly tracing back up your legs, releasing the hands out to the sides. We'll inhale, arms stretch high. Then exhale, hands come back to your knee, lifting your knee or your thigh, sliding it side to side. And then lowering that foot back down to the ground. Taking a breath in and out to find your center core. That center string of vertical alignment. And then lift your heels and lower your heels, lift your toes. You're just gonna alternate back and forth, heels and toes. And then lower back down. So last week we did a little bit of warrior 1. So let's find our warrior 1 again. We're gonna come onto one side of your chair. So maybe your left thigh is sitting on the chair and your right leg is off. So we're gonna swing this right leg straight behind us. And keep your toes, your back right toes on the ground. And we're gonna bring that right hand on top of the thigh. So notice where your hips are pointed. See if they're pointed out to the side. See if you can turn your hips so they're facing the front of the room. So maybe that means you have to work on your balance and bring a little bit more strength to your core and to your legs as you hug them in and together. So that means if your hips are forward, then your shoulders are also forward. And then maybe this hand comes to the back of the leg and the left hand to the front leg. So just pause here, feeling that strength in your core as you hold the pose. And then adding the arms. So adding your palms forward out to the sides. Keep pressing into the back toes, straightening the back leg. And then let's inhale, arms overhead for 3 more breaths. Keeping that back leg nice and straight. And from here, we're going to open out to the right with the arms in a T. And you're going to roll the back foot down to the floor. So that the arch of your foot is now, there you go, on the floor. And your arms are out in warrior 2 arms. So maybe palms are facing down to the floor. And you're stretching your fingertips as wide as they can go. So your gaze can either be over your front hand or out to the side, whichever is more comfortable for your neck. So maybe you try a little bit of both. Taking one more nice deep breath here, in and out of the nose. And then we'll reach both hands up to the ceiling and bring both hands, exhale, down to your front knee, twisting back high on your back toes, coming back, facing forward with shoulders and both of your hips. 3 breaths. And then bring your right hand to the back of your thigh. We're going to draw that leg forward, back to center. And then we're going to switch and do this on the other side. So finding your seat on your right thigh. Draw your left leg behind you. Leg is straight. If you can't do that, sometimes it can stay a little bit bent. You can also always hold on to your chair and just do this one arm if you have to. Whatever works for you and your body. All right, so we're gonna start angling our hips and shoulders forwards, pressing into those back toes. And then bringing one hand to the back thigh and one hand to the front thigh. Pausing and taking 3 breaths here. Engaging your core, drawing up all the energy up from your feet, up into your belly. And then adding the arms. Both arms come out to the sides, palm forward. Press into the back toes, into the floor. Drop the shoulders down, gaze forward and smile. And then inhale, arms overhead, 3 breaths, arms high, or wherever you can hold. Really feeling that stretch in your belly and the sides. Twisting open to warrior 2. So arms come in a T. Back foot rotates down so the arch of your foot is on the floor. And finding your arms. So either your gaze is forward, straight over your fingertips, finding your focal point. Or maybe finding a focal point out to the side. Either way, find some softness in your shoulders as you lower your shoulders. And taking another nice deep breath in and out here. And then we'll rotate the arms forward, back to warrior one, back high in your back toes. We'll release the hands down to the front thigh, squaring the hips, squaring the shoulders for 3 more breaths. Really engaging this back quadricep and the back glutes and pressing into your bottom foot. And then taking your left hand, bringing it to the back thigh, dragging and bringing that thigh back to center, and find your seat back onto the center of your chair. Let's lift both toes. Lift your heels high so your toes are on the ground. We're going to bring both hands to the knees and just start to make circles with your knees. So maybe your heels are moving up and down. And then rotate and go the other direction. And lower both heels down to the floor, taking your hands, rolling circles over your knees, bringing some extra attention there. The knees can get a little bit stopped up with energy sometimes, so it's nice to keep all of our joints moving easily. And maybe you start to go up and down your legs, covering over the knees from the calves to the thighs, and then bringing your hands behind your knees. So we'll start with circles. And then circles in the other direction. And then moving your hands up and down, calf over the knee, the back of the knee, and up to the thigh. So get the inside of your legs, and then get the outside. And maybe we'll just start to sweep down the outside of your legs, down to your baby toe, come over to your big toe, and then sweep up the inside of your leg. So we're gonna make a nice big circle here, tracing up the inside, out at the waist, down the outside, seam of your pants, to your baby toe, to your big toe, and back up. And then we're gonna make this circle even bigger. So the next time you come up, we're gonna come up to the hips, up to the armpits, and keep stretching forward, reach high, make a fist, pull down on one side, stretch high with the other, and down with the other arm. So bending elbows, opening your palm as you reach up. So really squeezing your shoulder blade and stretching as high as you can. And then ending both arms, stretching high, palms forward. We're going to swing low, forward fold, down to holding your big toes. And then inhaling, drawing up the inside of your legs again, out at your waist, up to your shoulder pit, your armpits, reaching high, bending one elbow, finding a side bend, a little bit deeper this time as you bend one elbow and reach over. 2 more times each side. Reach and pull down, reach, pull down, reach, pull down, reach, pull down, and then both arms come high. Palms forward, down to forward fold. Bring your hands to your big toe. Take a breath in and out. And then draw the hands up the inside of the legs, out at the waist, up the side body, up to the armpits, reaching high. This time we're going to bring the right hand to the chair and reach over to the right with your left hand. So really pressing into the chair equally with both hip bones, sit bones, breathing. Left arm sweeps back down, holds the chair, right arm out to the side, overhead, just adjusting as you need to sit in your chair, reaching high, making sure your throat is nice and open here. One more breath. And exhale, sweeping your hand down to your sides. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold, hands to your big toe. We'll trace up the inside of the legs, out at the waist, up to the sky. And exhale, hands down to your heart. Let's move into our little tapping routine. So tapping your cheekbones. And for this part, we'll shift into a little bit of breathing in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Bring your hands, your fingertips down to the upper collarbones, about 1 inch out from the center. Then coming to the center, tapping here, reinstating your immune system to get stronger. Coming down, tapping the front of your rib cage and then out to the sides of the rib cage. Deep breathing. And release the hands. Inhale. Coming up, we'll bring the right hand to the left shoulder, gently bring the other hand across to your thigh, taking a breath in. Exhaling, hands comes across to your hip, right hand to your thigh, left hand to your shoulder. Inhale. And exhale, sweeping across to the thigh. And other side, right hand, left shoulder, breathe in. And exhale and sweep down. So going at your own pace, switching back and forth. And one more time each side. And then ending with both hands on top of your shoulders. Breathe in and out. Crossing both hands to meet at your heart. Breathe in and out. And then lowering your hands down to your belly button. Pausing here, breathing in and out. And hands come across your hips and off your knees. All right, why don't we do a little bit of standing? So get up maybe behind your chair, maybe just move it to the side or keep it forward. I'll just keep mine to the side so it's easier maybe. So let's just start with coming high on our tiptoes. And I'm not sure how well you can see me. Let me see if I can back this up a little bit. I think that should work. Just a little better. All right, so you can use your chair, or if you don't need your chair, you can just stand high in your tiptoes. And we're gonna lift the right foot out to the side, lower the toes, and lift the left toes out to the side. So you can either do this flat-footed, if that's where you are today, or you can do this on your tiptoes if you want a little extra challenge, and just go out, side, center, and side, and center. So let's do that a couple more times on each side. Last round. And pausing. Bring both hands to the top of your chair. Hopefully it's sturdy and not gonna slide, and you're gonna take a few steps back, and we're gonna move into downward dog for the chair. So this is an L shape. So you can bring your ears to your elbows, gaze to the floor, and find yourself in a nice flat back here. So don't lock your knees, maybe bring a little micro movement to your knees. And really feel like your palms are pushing down the top of the chair to strengthen your arms. And also feel like your hips are moving backwards. So this is a great stretch for the back. All right, bending the knees, lowering down, coming back up, lower the knees, straighten the legs, bend the knees, straighten the legs, and then slowly walk towards the chair, coming back to standing. So let's bring one hand to the center of the chair on the top of the back. You're going to keep both feet pointed forwards towards the chair. We're going to lift the right hand forward in front of us. We're just going to make a big arch, reaching back. So this is about sort of like painting a rainbow with your fingers. So you're going to concentrate on stretching your fingers out and stretching as far as you can, and then tap your arm back to the chair. Let's do that 3 more times. So inhale, lifting out with your arm, all the way down, tapping your thigh, and reaching the fingertips back up. And down, tap the chair. Inhale, up and sweep back. Coming forward, maybe watching your hand with your gaze. Center, square your shoulders to the front. And last time, inhale, arm reaches out. And inhale, back up. And back to the chair. So we're going to do this on the same thing on the other side. I'll change directions. So first, plant your feet so they're nice and grounded. Your hips are over your ankles. Square your shoulders. And then we're going to start with the left hand, the opposite hand this time. Start to sweep it up. And then reaching back. So maybe you have a slight arch in your back. And bringing it forward. Inhale, reaching up. Tapping your thigh. And back. Up to the front. So let's do that 3 more times. Syncing your breath with your movement. And last time, sweeping arm high, reaching with your fingertips back to the thigh. Inhale up, reaching forward and back to your chair. So taking a moment, heel toeing your feet, rocking forward and back. And then we'll release the chair and just keep it to the side if you want it for this one. We're going to do the exercise that helps us organize our energy. So this is the one, bring your right foot across, crossing your legs, and then your opposite arm, so maybe your left arm crossing, and then switch your palms so they match. Engage and clasp your hands and fingers, and then tuck them underneath. And if that's too much, you can just cross your arms or crisscross them however you need to. The idea is just to tangle yourself up so you look like a pretzel. So standing up tall, relaxing your shoulders, and we'll pause and breathe here for about 30 seconds. And then let's untuck the arms. We'll start with these and just do the opposite crossover so you remember which is which. Cross, make yourself into a pretzel, and then we'll switch the legs. Well, maybe your feet are just one in front of the other. Maybe they're crossed all the way over. Maybe you're leaning against the wall if you need a little bit of extra balance. But finding a place where you can stay and breathe and center for about another 30 seconds. And as you're ready, you can release your hands, shake out your hands, bring your feet back, and just shake out each of your feet, each of your arms, giving yourself a little wiggle. And we're going to bring all 10 fingertips together and bring your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows. So again, allow your energies to sink into the floor through your feet, feeling yourself tall and strong. And then bringing your fingertips to the center of your forehead. We're going to pull the fingertips across the forehead behind the ears, and then come back up with your fingertips on top of your forehead, splitting and pulling across. You can do this in the field, you can press lightly, you can pull deeply, whatever feels good for you here. But we're pulling the energies apart with the two brain halves. So we're helping to clarify our thinking and helping to get all this extra static and worry and stress organized. So starting to bring your two hands all the way down the sides of your head, coming down the center in the back of the head. And even you can do this coming down the back of the neck as well. So it's nice to do this a couple of times. And you can keep peeling that energy, tucking it behind your ears, down the back of your head, down the back of your neck. And then this time we're gonna hold the shoulders with our hands, pause and breathe 3 times here. And then draw the hands forward, crossing at the heart, breathing 3 times in and out. And then bring the hands down to the belly, pausing at the belly, breathing in and out 3 times. And release, and bring the hands over to your hips. They'll slide down the outside of the legs, bending your knees down to your pinky toes. Holding your big toe, breathing in and out. On your inhale, draw up the insides of your legs, out at your waist, up to the armpits, reaching high, stretching high with your fingertips. And exhale, hands come down to your sides and back to your heart space. And just twisting gently side to side. And from here, let's make our way back to center and back to our chairs. We'll do a little closing movements and then end with our sitting Savasana. So from here, let's pull the right arm out to this side. And this is an exercise sometimes we'll do on the floor, but we'll just do it sitting for now. So you're gonna tuck your right fingertips in like you're just, you know those little snakes that you wiggle back and forth? You're gonna pretend your arm can do that even though it doesn't have the joints of a snake. But you're gonna roll your hand like you're tracing up across your body. We're gonna open the opposite arm. Keep bringing that right hand across the arm to match the left hand. Maybe the elbows bend a little bit just so you can match palms. And we're gonna pull the right hand, tracing back up the left arm across the heart and open and stretch. So let's do that 3 more times. So tracing across to the left hand, matching and pulling back. Open. Again. And last time, tracing across, pausing as you match hands. Pulling back across and open, stretch wide in the fingertips. Open the palms, fingers wide, and then bring the fingertips together so you're squeezing them all. Open palms wide Squeeze the fingers, palms wide, squeeze the fingers. And then we'll do the other side. So taking your left hand, tucking it in, rolling it across to your heart, tracing the right arm this time, matching hands, and tracing open across to the left. Again, tracing across, opening, and 3 more times. For 3, 2, and last time. Again, stretching arms wide, squeeze the fingertips together this time. Squeezing, lowering the shoulders, dropping the rib cage, extending the fingertips wide, holding, breathing, squeeze the fingertips again, palms are still forward, opening the palms again, and then finding some looseness in your arms and shaking it all back down. All right, we'll inhale, arms overhead, gaze looks up, exhale, hands come down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the right, finding a little twist, hand to your knee, opposite hand to the back of the chair. 3 breaths. Inhale, arms come back. Your center will twist over to the other side. Hand to the knee, hand to the back of the chair, sitting up tall. And then inhaling, arms to center, hands together, and we'll come back down to the heart space and gently rocking hands side to side. Bringing your fingertips to both sides of your temples. We're gonna hold some calming points, and then we'll move into our closing Savasana. So breathing in and out here. And then bring one hand to that little notch at your throat, breathing in and out. Bringing that same hand you just moved to just below the belly button. Holding here, breathing in and out. And then switching hands. So maybe it's your right hand comes to your belly button and the left hand comes to your temple. And then maybe left hand comes to the throat notch. Left hand comes back to the temple. Right hand comes back to the throat notch. And right hand comes back to the temple. So now you've got both hands, one on each side of your temples. And then we'll slowly bring our hands back to our laps. If you'd like to turn down your length, you're welcome to. If you want to add a little bit of weight to your lap, if you want to put a blanket or something heavy on your lap, you can. And we'll take our 5 minutes in Savasana. So final resting pose, resting your feet, resting your hands, just finding a comfortable position and moving into your closing meditation. Letting all of the movements and all of the breathing integrate into your system. So taking a few deep breaths, coming back to your seats, pressing into your toes and your feet, pressing into your hands. And then taking your hands out to the sides, coming back to your nice tall mountain seats. We'll inhale the arms overhead and exhale out to the sides. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Last time, we'll inhale up, touching hands, drawing them back down to the heart space. If you'd like to revisit your intention from the beginning of class, tuning in with it now, checking in with it. And breathing 3 times into your hands, into your hearts. Thank you all for joining me today. Thank you all for being here. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. It was really good.
You're welcome. Good to see you all. So,
That was
if
great.
there's, all right, good. So if there's interest to continue the classes, I can continue it at the same time next week, and then I'll have to look at my schedule for September. But if anybody would like to make a donation towards classes, just you can get in touch with me, and I'll probably be adding some more classes as we go along. So if you want more chair classes or mat classes or more specific classes about stress or anxiety management or just boosting your immune system, you can let me know if you're interested in them and what time of day and what days might work for you.
Yeah, like boosting the immune system.
All right.
They all sound good.
They all sound good. Let's see where Jim is here. You're welcome, Jim. More chair classes. All right. Glad it worked out.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
More chair classes.
Chair classes.
Yeah,
All right.
it was wonderful.
Excellent. Good to see you, Don.
You too.
Bye, Mary.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. All right. We can do more chair classes. I like chair classes. How do I do this? Do this button.